We are recording. We are recording. Well, hope you guys don't see my hands. Hope you guys don't see my hands. Still got to talk a little closer into the mic. Excuse me as I slide that over and make some noise. Welcome back. This is Eli with the Marfan homie. Like I said, we still in the studio. We still working on the studio. On the studio. As I do my air quotes for you guys not watching. We're still working on the studio for the room. I'm still working on uploading episode 2, the video. Couple hiccups there. I don't know why. I got to take a couple classes to see why that is taking up so much space and see if I can minimize on the space so I can upload it up to YouTube. Because again, I do want to get my YouTube channel going for this particular podcast. Again, the Marfan homie is in full effect. I got some artwork being done. I got the mock-ups the other day, so all my pictures are gonna change and stuff like that. Like I said, it's a growing podcast. You're gonna see things change along the way. You're gonna see things change along the way. So yeah. What else? What else is new? Oh yeah, happy holidays again. Happy holidays to whatever it is that you celebrate. I hope you celebrated well. Happy New Year for the people in America or parts of the world that celebrate on January 1st. Happy New Year's to you guys, and again, Happy New Year's to everyone else that celebrates on a different day. Love all you guys. So let's talk about Christmas a little bit. Christmas was good. Red Christmas tree, a lot of gifts. A lot of gifts between me and my partner, me and my girl. A lot of gifts were exchanged. She got me a Meta Quest headset, and I'm just like, man, this is great. I hope I don't ruin my vision more than it's already ruined. But no, it's a good gaming console. It's a good way to get into the games. It's definitely virtual reality. Like you don't know what else is going on outside of that, the headpiece and stuff like that. I should have put a mic on there, but that would have been short notice. So again, I'm still working on getting a different mic so I don't have to sit so close. I told my coworkers today that was my number 3 gift. My number 2 gift was this awning that I also received for Christmas. It's an awning for your SUV, so that was pretty swell. Haven't put it on yet. Still waiting. And then my number 1, which was probably, I guess, the cheapest gift. If we're looking at the price tag, it's probably the cheapest gift. So that was definitely a Apple wallet, a little MagSafe wallet. I've been wanting one for like a year and a half, 2 years now. So shout out for that one. But yeah, the holidays have been good. A lot of food, a lot of chilling, a lot of eating. Said that twice, I guess. And then it's just a lot of relaxing, unwinding, getting prepared for 2023. Like I said in a couple episodes ago, that I wrote out a couple episodes. So I'm excited to just go through these episodes. I have quite a bit of content to get out to you guys. Not necessarily content, but talking topics. I want to get away from that content word as well too, because again, I'm just talking. Like I said before, I'm just relieving. I'm just talking. Like I said, I'm gonna get my other family members on here, Marfans or no Marfans, get my family members on here, and really talk about like what it was to have Marfans for you, and what it was to have a sibling with Marfans and you didn't. Like, do you feel like your life was affected any by, I guess, me, your brother, having Marfans and whatnot? So yeah, or some other brothers and stuff like that. But yeah, so stuff like that, topics like those. I got some feedback from a friend of mine, and they wanted to know, as a friend, how do we support you? And I said, oh, or let's take it a step back even more. How do we? What if we aren't aware of what Morphins is? Again, that's cool. That's cool. Again, I'm willing to tell you, but like I said before, it's a cardiovascular disease that affects the interconnected tissue within the human, let's say, skeletal system or the tissue system, the tissue. So again, you're easy to point out. So one major test is to see if you're on camera, see that your thumb is coming through the other side when you ball up your fist, and if your thumb tips out the other side, that's like one of the tests that people often use to see if you have Marfans. But just by looking at somebody, not to again categorize every slim person on the earth, but we're more lean. We are more lean than other people. Again, this is just from the outside. You looking at us from the outside. We tend to be more lean. Sorry. We tend to be more lean, tall, slender. Although I have, like, since coming into or being more aware of the Marfan syndrome community, I've seen a couple of Marfan patients that have weight on them, and I was like, man, you guys look good. You guys look very good. Again, I don't think I'll necessarily have the weight factor, but it's okay. Again, I'm comfortable with my weight, my 210 to 220 range. I fight with that. I do what I need to do, eat the way I need to eat, and maintain the way I need to maintain to, of course, maintain my physique. So yeah, that's one thing. So I'm just checking to see if both audio and visual recordings are coming through, because again, we're gonna try this YouTube thing one more time. Got couple people that could probably help me out, so I'm gonna reach out to them just to see, like, hey, can I downsize this? Because I think the last video I had was like 10 gigs, and I'm like, this is never gonna go through. So we'll see. Probably I'll try to start recording in 4K or buy an actual camera. So we'll see. So yeah, that was one of the questions. What one of my friends had, and the next question was like, so like, how do we support you? Yeah, I mean, I look at support as your typical just being there. I mean, again, however that comes to you. So it's just like, Elijah, you okay? Yep. All right. Hey, I got this surgery. Oh man, like I try to let people. I'm at the point in my life where I try to let people care for me. As far as like, oh man, you're going to the hospital. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And it's like, nah, it's not even that serious. But to them, it is. And who am I to tell them it's not that serious? I don't find it serious, but they do. So one good way just to be there for me, just checking up. I mean, checking up again. It's not a normal typical lifestyle at all. So just checking up and making sure that, hey, you good? Not necessarily you need anything, but you good? Yeah. Then that's it for me. Like, that's it for me. Just because I do that for other people. I mean, again, I don't do it because I have Marfans and I'm just thinking bad about my situation all the time. I just do it because that's what comes to me. It's just like, hey, you good? I ain't talked to you in a while, blah, blah, blah. But I think that would be one way. I mean, again, like, say, okay, if I did just have a surgery, hey, you good? You need anything? And that's just the typical question. But I actually take that question to heart. As far as you need anything, like, I will. If I'm not next to you, I'm gonna ship it to you. Like, that's how I take that question. However, I have discovered everyone's not like that. However, that's just, again, a couple of the questions that you can ask. Very, very simple questions. And I mean, again, it's not even necessarily just like making sure you're good. I think it provides a feeling of when we are in, like, say, like a recovery state after a surgery or something like that. When we are in a recovery state, and it's just like, oh man, it feels good to have somebody real deal check up on you. So yeah, that's how I think about it. So yeah, those are two things. Again, I like that interaction. Someone give me feedback. I'm giving my feedback on the podcast. So that's all good. They also said, it's your podcast. You curse if you want to. So if I drop the S-bomb or anything, I'm gonna mark it as explicit and blah 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 blah. But yeah, like, it's, as people would say, thanks for giving a shit about me. But I appreciate y'all for the ones that do want to know, of course, what is Marfan, and if we have a friend that has been affected, how do we care, quote unquote, care for them. So yeah, check up on them. I go in that. I went in the Marfan's community Facebook group, and it was just like they tell their stories, and I'm just like, man. Again, comment every now and then and says it's like, hey, man, I'm pulling for you, not necessarily praying for you, because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm afraid for you. Never do it. Like at that moment, I say, man, I hope that person makes it through whatever they got to do, that surgery or whatever they got going on. I'm rooting for them. Let's say I'm rooting for them to honestly make it out the other side, because again, it can be an easy situation or a difficult situation, and I'm not too sure. Again, yeah, they post it, but I'm still not too sure on their situation. However, that is that. That is definitely that. I am, so yes, applaud out to you guys. I like pressing this button. Applaud to you guys. So yes, applaud to you guys. We're strong. We're very strong people, strong-hearted, as much as our as weak as our hearts may be. We're strong-hearted individuals, and I think this makes us stronger as individuals, just because we want to make it to a certain age, and we want to make it out the other side. We want to go with our friends certain places and not feel like a outcast or a burden. And that was one of my biggest things. And now I'm sort of rambling, but now that was one of my biggest things is if no one knew about it, or if they did know about it, now I feel like a burden. And I never wanted to feel like a burden to anyone. So even then it goes to, like, again, the asking the question, like, how do we care for you? If you know, and then you're like, oh man, I think Elijah's tired. Nah, I'm not tired. I can actually keep going. That's just how I am. That's just how my perseverance works. Like I don't want to be the slow person in the crowd per se. I'll keep going. But again, if you see it and you feel the need to ask, like, hey, you good? Yep, that's it. I'm the type of person you only have to ask me once. Some people are like that, where you only have to ask them if they're good once, and that's all they need. Just be like, I'm glad you cared. I'm glad you cared or saw enough to be like, okay, I think he's good. So bam. Now let's drop into episode 3. Boom. I don't have that one yet, but I'm gonna work on that. Boom. So episode 3, running out of breath. As we did in episode 2, we had some talking points, and I thought about going out of like what going like segueing into the next topic, which would have made sense, but I'm gonna go with what I wrote down initially when all this just rushed to me. Episode 3 is running out of breath. So that came with let me put this in the correct mode. That came with time. As a kid, you know that, again, you're running around the park. Whether you have Marfan's or any other diagnosis or not, you're running around. You don't feel tired at all. I think as I got older, or as people get older, but as I got older, I would notice that I would get tired more quickly and stuff like that. I remember this one day in 8th grade, we were running around the track. I was like, dang, I made it. We supposed to do a mile 4 times around the track. I made it half. We started and we ran at that halfway point around the first lap. I got tired, and they was like, what's wrong? I was like, man, I can't do it. And they was like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you tired? Like, we running. So they were actually starting to run around me. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. Then I think at that point I was like, ugh. But coincidentally, as I got older before my surgery in 2018, I was working on building my endurance. I was working on building my stamina and stuff like that. Like, I was doing pretty good. I would honestly say that I was doing pretty good. And yeah, I was doing pretty good. Like, even in high school, again, I didn't play any sports. I didn't run around like that. I didn't really feel the need to, like, run around. And everybody's like, we never see you run. I was like, and you never will. I didn't understand why that was, like, the biggest thing, I guess, to see a tall person run, or a tall, slim person run. And again, the way that my physique was set up, it was like, we want to see this guy run. And I was like, well, you never will, so we can just drop that. And I think it was more along the lines of like, oh yeah, we about to laugh at him rather than we want to see him run. We care less how you run. We just want to see how funny it is. But whatever. Um, but running out of breath, I was just like, it took a toll. So as I got older, I just realized that I don't have to like do things that take up a lot of energy because I've noticed that's what took up or like making me start breathing hard or my heart start racing and stuff like that is like again like uh, uh let's say like horse playing or like playing a pickup game of football. Like again, I was smart. I played quarterback. Like at the pickup games, like at I guess like not necessarily played quarterback. I knew how to throw a football. I really couldn't catch, and let my family tell it. Nope, nope, not a catcher at all. However, I knew how to throw a football. Um, and even then at school, like if we were just throwing the football around, I'd be like, okay, he could throw. Why don't you play for the try out for the football team? I said, no, I'm good. Like I already knew. But again, I knew the skills that I needed to know at that time, if you will. So like again, I would choose like the less extraneous ways to get things done, if you will. Um, so basically, I was just again, I played, I threw the football. I was the quarterback for the family team. um, if not me, then probably one of my brothers or my nephew or whatever the case may be. But I knew my strong suit. Horse playing, I've always noticed like when I would be horse playing, my heart starts to rise, my heart rate starts to rise and stuff like that. But again, you're an adolescent, you're a child, and it's just like you don't want to stop doing those things. That's what everybody else is doing. That's what's fun. Um, so I did it. What else? Yeah, just things like those. I mean, again, like playing now, you got gym and stuff like that, like gym in high school, gym in middle school, gym in elementary. Gym in elementary, like again, I had all the energy in the world. I could run the lap, not stop, whatever. I was slow, but I was able to run around the field and not necessarily stop. Middle school, like I said, the one time when I ran around the track, made it halfway, and I was like, nope, never run around this thing again. Um, and then high school, I mean, again, I participated in gym. I did not care to be first in finishing anything in gym. Again, I knew my strong suit. I knew my weak suit. I knew what I needed to know. So if it was walk around the school, fine, walk around the school. If it was jog around the school, fine, jog around the school. I was never first. I didn't care to be first. Um, but again, I knew that it was either have because again they weren't necessarily aware. Like teachers, I kept it under wraps. Um, they weren't necessarily aware that I had Marfan. They just looked at me like something's wrong with this kid. So it's like, all right, that's fine, but I'm not gonna tell you, and I know what I need to do to pass your class, so we're fine. So when it came time for the indoor activities like dodgeball, I was a beast at dodgeball. When it came time for badminton, I was pretty good. Volleyball needs some work. Basketball, they slept on me. But the thing is, I don't necessarily know how to shoot. But during those times where we had to play and be like shoot for captain, I surprised them one time. I um, I got the ball and they was like, he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. Man, I took that ball. I think it was beyond the 3-point line. I took it. I was like, all right. They was like, dang, he made it. I was like, yep. And I chose all the best players so they could do all the work. Because again, I wasn't. I'm not. I'm not trying to finish first. I'm just trying to show you that I can do it and leave. Um. So yeah, that was definitely a thing. That was definitely a thing. Um. What else? College. I think I did. I had golf freshman year, so you only had to take like two classes. Let's say classes of college. I don't know how everybody's college divides it up, whatever else. But you only had to take two classes of gym during college. So for me, freshman year I had golf, and Then sophomore or junior year, I had rep games. I think that's what it was. But I mean, basically, no, I had softball. I had softball. Hated it. I could. Was that me? No, that was somebody else. I could hit the ball, but I didn't care to run to the base because I was so shelled in. I'm like, damn, they're gonna see me run, and I was like, I don't even know how I look running. So it's just like I avoid that altogether. Honestly, as an adult, I still avoid running anywhere. I'm just like, either I'm gonna leave on time or speed walk because you're not gonna catch me. And again, I think that's more of a self-conscious thing. But like I said, I'm still working on it, and this is a part of me working on it, just talking about it. So yeah, but again, now it's a little bit different. It's one of my sister's favorite movies, Paid in Full, where he comes out of surgery. He's like, man, I can't even do nothing all the same, man. I breathe different. And that was from Ace Boogie when he got shot and stuff, and he came up out of surgery. My sister know what I'm talking about, or if you see Paid in Full, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, I breathe different. So it's just like with the two surgeries that I've had in Texas, I don't even dream about running. I don't dream to be a track star Olympian because I know like whatever. So definitely recently, running out of breath has been a thing. So I tried, again, like I said, I try not to put myself in situations where it causes for me to run out of breath. Like, again, I've moved 2 or 3 times since moving to Texas and lifting, let's just say, heavy furniture, anywhere from 50 to 100 pounds. It's just like, man. And I realized one day when I was moving some furniture, I was all hype in the morning. I was moving things by myself. I was like, dang, I'm strong. By 4 o'clock that day, I said, man, I am winded. I think because I've been moving heavy stuff all day. But again, I think the Lord definitely looked out for me because I was tired. And again, it's not recommended for us Marfan patients to, let me try to move this over. For us Marfan patients to move or lift heavy things. So I play the fool. I don't necessarily listen. Again, it's my furniture. I didn't have anybody else to help me that day. And at the time, me and my girlfriend were moving. It was like, what are we gonna do? So slowly but surely, the apartment got moved into. So it was all good. Yeah. So yeah, then again, some of my talking points: running, horseplaying, we got that. How my surgeries affected my breathing pattern. But even then, I think when my first surgery in high school, first heart surgery in high school, I thought my body was doing its own thing. I didn't even think I was breathing like for myself. You know, they say your body breathes no matter what. Unless of course you're like underwater, you hold your breath, blah blah blah. But your body and like your brain, that's just something that your body does. It pumps blood and it breathes unless otherwise. One day or the day I got home after my first surgery. This was August or July of 2012. I went home. I got home out that hospital for like 3 days. This was from a ascending aorta graft or draft, however you say it. They put the little synthetic material over my ascending aorta because it was open, it was splitting, it was tearing. So I went home and my body was shaking. Like my whole body was just shaking. And I think I noticed it in the hospital, so I asked the nurse. I was like, is this normal? Should my whole torso, like if you see me in the camera, my whole torso was just moving. Like it was like my friend does this little shoulder move. I was doing that without doing it. My body was doing it for me. It was so weird. But yeah, I was like, hey, is this normal? And they were like, yeah, I mean, your heart's strong, so it's moving your whole body. But I don't think I remembered ever doing that before, so that was weird. But then again, as I moved to Texas or came to Texas, in certain, now it came certain situations, certain level, like high level stress situations, my body would do like this little shimmy, and I was just like, I don't know. So that's when I noticed that, hey, go lay down, hey, go drink some cold water, or hey, go to sleep. Just go to sleep. You'll wake up in the morning or wake up in an hour or two, and you'll feel better. And honestly, that's what I did during like the first moments of moving over here. Because the thing is, I didn't. It was just me. I didn't necessarily have any family in Texas at the time, and I had the person that I moved here with. However, it was just us two, and it was just like, man, I mean, I got to take it easy because again, I don't think we're equipped for this. But again, that's all a part of growing up, as far as like getting equipped to adapting to your lifestyle or adapting to the person that you are and stuff like that. Figuring out what works for you, what to do in any what's the word, emergency, any situation of the sort and stuff like that. Um, so that was something that I definitely had to figure out. As my computer keeps going off, I gotta keep making sure that it's still recording. So yeah, like again, that was my next topic or my next talking point was controlling the situation, yet alone controlling my breathing. Um, I had to control my breathing. I had to start to learn how to control my breathing, control any given situation. Like if I'm, again, like I said, if I'm in a high stress situation, how can I bring that stress level down? And then I start to think to myself, is this stress necessary? Can I walk away from it? And that's what I'm big on practicing that now is as I'm going through therapy and stuff like that, is like when to walk away from a situation that is not good for your health. Whether it's temporary or permanent, or again, that's permanent as in you have to you're gonna have to talk about it or deal with it later. But how to simmer it down in that moment. And again, because it's all a part of not necessarily, I mean, again, mental health is a thing, but no, when it comes to diagnosis like these, you start to think of your actual physical health because stress raises blood pressure raises this, blood pressure puts you in the hospital, all that. And talk about that. I'm on medications right now. I've been on Losartan, I've been on Metoprolol, I've been on a couple others that I cannot remember, but I've been on a couple medications. As of today, I'm only on 2. I think that's another episode. If not, I'm on Metoprolol and Losartan. I don't like Metoprolol at all. Losartan, we okay. We're okay. But yeah, that's a whole other day, a whole other topic. But again, I take them because, of course, they do what they need to do. They help lower your blood pressure, lower your BPM, and stuff like that nature. So I do what I need to. I do what I need to do to survive. Which led me to my next talking point: the elevated blood pressure. Like again, that is something that we should take more serious as a people, but necessarily as a community. And I'm one to talk because I don't necessarily check my blood pressure every day, which I need to, which has been highly recommended from all the doctors that I've seen throughout the time. But I do try to get control of my blood pressure. I don't cook with a lot of salt. I honestly try to watch my salt intake. Again, I know that holiday seasons, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, and New Year's, things that revolve around food and stuff like that. If I'm controlling or necessarily cooking, I try to watch how much salt I put in there. If other people cook, I try to watch how much I eat. Because I'm gonna eat the food. I just gotta watch how much of it I'm partaking in because I have to watch what goes in and out my body, or necessarily and how it comes out my body. Not to be too nasty, but yeah, how it comes out. that plays a part of what's going on inside of here, inside your stomach, inside your digestive system. So um, but yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So I believe that again, controlling how you breathe can definitely help. And again, when I first got my first Apple Watch, they had the little breathe thing on there, and sorry, and I would actually take that minute a day and center myself, breathe, and just see how everything is going. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily do it every day anymore. I probably do it like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and honestly, once a month. Which I should probably start to do more, and I'll probably make that a mission this year as we roll into this year. To do taking more time to do those 1 minute take breaths, as they call them, and just sit back, relax, open my mind, and center myself and just breathe. Because again, that's a big part of what's going on inside. Um, Words of advice. Let's make that a segment. Growing podcast. Words of advice as far as controlling, running out of breath and controlling how you breathe. If you're running out of breath, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop it. And I think at that point, that's where you have to ask yourself, is whatever I'm doing worth me falling out? But I think that's what it is, right? You're gonna breathe hard and stuff like that, and you're gonna either faint or something worse. And let's be quite frank about it. You're either gonna faint or something worse. So whatever it is, stop what you're doing. I'm not gonna say stop doing that ever again, because I would never want anyone to tell me that. However, I would want you to take a moment and just take a breath and take some water, take a breath, take a break. I'm a person that's honestly not big on breaks, especially like in the middle of a job, in the middle of working. But no, I mean, again, if your body is screaming at you, you should listen. I've learned not to be as stubborn when my body is screaming at me. I honestly have. But no, if your body's screaming at you, definitely pause, listen. Like, what you talking about? Oh, you want me to take a break? Cool. Talk back to your body and give it the care and the nourishment and the replenish it as needed. Any more words of advice? I know with me, a lot of my shortness of breath and let's call them dizzy spells comes with it being hot. I'm not a hot environment based person. So I try to avoid hot situations. The AC is definitely on sometimes during the winter, and if it's that cold, I'll turn on the heat and crack a window, because that's just how I do it. But yeah, as far as today, those are my words of advice. I didn't realize how much I was talking, but again, I think I got everything out. If it sounds like rambling, it is. If you can make some sense of it, great. If you want to leave a comment or just tell me everything that you want to tell me, I'm here for it. I'm listening. Again, I got some feedback. I'm here for more feedback. I think feedback is going to help this podcast grow, help us grow, and help me grow. Because again, I'm doing this to talk about the things that I haven't necessarily talked with anyone before. Admittedly, after this, I will be going to the gym to at least ride the bike or try to strengthen my arms. I haven't been to the gym in some time, well, consistently in some time. So again, it's New Year, everybody New Year's resolution. Not that I've stopped, I just took a break. I'll say that. But again, admittedly, I will be in there after this. And again, I found my mojo that works. I found my mojo, my rhythm that works for me when doing those things. And I think that's another podcast episode about my experience in the gym. And I'll call that, quote unquote, in quotations, being hard headed. But I listen to myself. If I'm out of breath, I stop whatever I'm doing. If I'm struggling, which at no point you should be struggling with anything in the gym, you shouldn't be doing it. And I listen. I listen to my body, and I listen when it's saying that. Um, so yeah. So I think we're at the end of this podcast, at the end of this episode. This is this. I hope this was an informative episode. So I think I'm gonna listen back. Whatever I just said, something about notes or whatever I said. I can't even remember. My mind is on a lot of stuff right now, so forgive me. But as I listen to this, what I said about one part of this podcast being in the next podcast, I think it was something about notes. I should have wrote it down. Or words of advice. There we go. Words of advice. So words of advice, I will now be adding that into other podcasts going forward. Like I said, we're building. I like that I can even share that and give that to people, because people do have come to me and ask me, what supplements do you use? Whether it's a protein supplement or a vitamin. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I've used in my experiences. Let's get that clear. But yeah. So yeah, words of advice is going to be the going out segment. So when I say that, you won't be able to hear this voice anymore. Just know that I will be coming to you the next week or two with a new episode. So again, Marfan homie, I'm signing off. I thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned. Words of advice. That's going to be something new. Again, we're still working on the studio setup. Still working on getting my episode 2 uploaded. Even if episode 3 is the first episode to be uploaded, I did not record the introduction, and that was on purpose. Visually, that was on purpose because I wanted to substantiate or make sure this is set first. So again, but again, Marfan homie signing off. I hope you guys had a good day. I hope you guys had a good holiday, good new year, brought it in the way you wanted to bring it in. Again, goals, visions. If you have any goals, feel free to share them with me. If you have any vision on what you see and how your next year might be going, share that with me as well. I'm listening. If you want me to be a part of one of your goals or a part of your vision for the next year or whatever the next time frame that you have set, let me know. If it's something that I can do, I'm not going to say I'm going to do it right here on air, but no, if it's something that I can do and I feel comfortable with, we can do it together. If not, I'll probably tell you, no, I'm not going to do it. However, let me know. Like again, I'm looking for the feedback. I'm looking for the interaction. So again, Marfan homie, Eli, Marfan homie on all platforms. I'll have all the links in the description. Signing off. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.